Lord 147 showed up first. What a true GM first.
What is up, sexy beasts? That was the wrong one. We are back. Did you like my video? I made that in like 10 minutes. It didn't take me 10 minutes, it took me forever. This made me regret not having recordings of everything downloaded. And I did not include everything, obviously. I feel like the only thing I should have included that I didn't is maybe Metroid 2. But the music in that game is lame, which is why I didn't include it. The music is bad, so I didn't think... Well, originally I was only gonna have music. Then I was like, fine, I'll fucking go screen capture my own gameplay. But anyway, can I open the thingy? And some of them only have months because we just don't know the release date. We don't know the day. Well, I couldn't find the day, I was too lazy. But I looked up a bunch of them, some of them just don't have days, we just don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's do it. Let me put this on shuffle so it doesn't play the random same thing over and over and over again. Okay. The first award is not going to be this is the thing. Look at this beautiful pictures, guys. You know, I should open the PowerPoint and then I'll know what's going to be next. Okay, sure. Monkey Island 2 release date is lost media, yeah. We don't know where it went. Oh yeah, so, the best graphics. Also, a lot of these I haven't even decided, so I'm going to decide on the fly, I'm not going to lie. But, what had the best graphics? We got Castlevania 4, which is a beautiful looking game. Can I get the pointer, please? How do I use the pointer? The laser pointer, look at this. Castlevania 4, beautiful game. Very pretty, very grimy, right? Sonic 1, literally the total opposite. Super colorful. Link to the Past, I think Link to the Past looks super good, but it does get a bit samey. But I feel like the art style for Link to the Past gets slept on quite a bit, right? Like, I feel like the characters and the items look very, like, pixelated, but the actual, like, world is kind of the same as Mario World, where, like, they, like, look super smooth. They were clearly going for this, like, hand-drawn sort of aesthetic on Mario World and Link to the Past, which actually, worked out pretty well as far as I'm concerned. Shatterhand, or whatever this game's called in Japan, this game looks very pretty. It's the only 8-bit game on the list. Or that got nominated, I should say. Street Fighter 2, another very pretty game. The crazy thing about Street Fighter 2 is that all the characters have so many sprites, right? Like, every fighter must have, like, a bajillion different moves and, like, poses. And they all animate, they're not just, like, frozen. It is an arcade game. Like, in Streets of Rage, this game looks super amazing. Most of the characters are just, like, frozen in place, right? Whereas in Street Fighter 2, he's, like, bopping and weaving all over the frickin' place, 24/7. And all the locations are crazy amazing as well. Like, if you compare this game to, like, what, I don't know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, which came out the same year, the graphics in that game look okay. They do not hold a candle to Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 could have came out, like, 5 years later and probably looked the same and no one would have complained, right? I mean, I know it's an arcade game, so it's not really a fair comparison, but I think I'm gonna give it to Street Fighter 2, to be honest with you. I think it may be the most impressive for this year. Next, we got the best writing. Also, honorable mention to Ys 3, but that game basically didn't come out this year, right? Like, the PC Engine version came out this year, but the story in that game is pretty cool, especially for a platformer. But I didn't put it on the list because, again, the story is not new. It's just a port. Although the port is a different game in its own, so I did include it in some things, but not in this, because the writing's the same, I'm pretty sure. Final Fantasy IV. Pretty immersive narrative, right? It's also very long, I guess. I mean, this is definitely the longest story that came out this year. Monkey Island 2, we played that game like 2 days ago. Or 3 days ago, I don't know when it was. And yeah, maybe the Neverwinter Nights story is amazing. There's a lot of dialogue in that game, to be fair, where you, like, walk around, and then people, like, intervene It's pretty cool, but Popful Mail, Soul, very funny, very entertaining, especially for a PC-88 game, right? Like, East 3 and Popful Mail are kind of, like, way ahead of their time for a PC-88 game. Or I guess not ahead of their time anymore, but especially East 3, that came out, like, 2 years ago. And A Link to the Past. I mean, I feel like a lot of the story in Link to the Past is not just, like, literally the dialogue, right? But just the way you progress and stuff. But, I'm gonna give it to Monkey Island 2. It was robbed last year, guys. I did not give it to Monkey Island 1. But that's only because Metal Gear was nominated, okay? If Metal Gear was nominated this year, it would have won again, but it wasn't, so... but yeah, I feel like I gotta give it to Monkey Island 2. I actually enjoyed it a lot more this time. I was engaged. I mean, I flew through that game. Did not feel like I played that game for like 6 hours, right? So, it was obviously doing something right. So, it is gonna go to that game. The best soundtrack. There's so many good soundtracks this year. Look at how many there are. There could probably be more. I didn't put Cave Noir on here. Cave Noir also has a very good soundtrack. But, you know, it doesn't really compare to these ones. But it has, like, a few good tracks. The Simpsons Arcade, this soundtrack goes, like, crazy. It's, like, chaos. But I kind of like it. I feel like this game's soundtrack is, like, an acquired taste, right? But... like, the songs in this game, like, do not shut the fuck up. They're, like, insane. There's just, like, a billion instruments playing at once. Mega Man 4, I'm not too crazy about Mega Man 4. There's a few tracks in this game in terms of the soundtrack that I like. I mean, there is a lot of them. Especially for a Famicom game, this is definitely, like, the best, I can't say 8-bit, but the best Famicom soundtrack of the year, right? Decaf Attack, this OST also goes crazy. It's funky as hell. It's really, really good. Super Castlevania 4. I don't know how they made the Super Famicom make those noises. I don't know how they did it. It's like magic. I don't know how they... like, maybe Super Castlevania 4 is not the best to just listen to. But definitely, like, playing the game is, like, insanely epic. And there's so many tracks, too. It's not like A Link to the Past, spoiler alert, where there's only, like, 10 amazing songs in that game, even though they are all pretty good. East 3 has CD quality audio, so it technically has an advantage. I did not like the East 3 soundtrack as much as East 1 and 2, but it is still good. The intro of this game goes nuts. You know what's annoying? The intro cutscene of this game, which is like the best song in the game, isn't on the soundtrack. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? It's not even fair. Sunset Riders, this game also goes crazy. It's kind of similar to The Simpsons. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sunset Riders, and The Simpsons sort of have similar soundtracks because, you know, they're arcade games, so they're just, like, super loud. It always surprises me why they even bother making such good soundtracks for arcade games when, like, whenever I've played an arcade game in real life, you, like, can't hear it anyway, right? It's normally, like, way too quiet. Unless it's, like, Daytona or something where it's, like, super loud. Which I guess is the point. Streets of Rage, I own this soundtrack on vinyl in real life. That's why I have this one. Yuzo Koshiro is goated. I'm pretty sure Yuzo Koshiro made... did he arrange the East 3? Not arrange. Did he make the original East 3 soundtrack? I know he made the East 2 soundtrack. I'm not sure. But it's pretty cracked. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. The music in this game is on par with what I think would win. But, there's not enough. It does get a bit samey. I wish every dungeon had its own track or something. Maybe then it would win. Turtles in Time is also coded, but the Super Famicom version of the soundtrack is actually better. This is the first arcade game ever where the Super Famicom version actually sounds better. The instruments sound better in that version. Popful Mail, the soundtrack also goes crazy. But of course I feel like the Sega CD version is better than the PC-88 version. The PC-88 version is surprisingly good, actually. I'd never heard it until recently, before I nominated it for this, because I was like, well, I may as well go and listen to the original. The original soundtrack's actually pretty good. They did not change that much in the Sega CD version. The Sonic 1 soundtrack is good because they stole all the music. They just stole, like, every track in this game. They just copy-pasted it from somewhere else. But it's pretty sick. Is this the first good Mega Drive soundtrack? Maybe. I don't know. Did anything get nominated? Actually, the Shadow Dancer soundtrack's pretty good, I guess. Final Fantasy IV. I think the crazy thing about Final Fantasy IV is that it's an early Super Famicom title with 1 billion songs in it. Because, I mean, again, if we look at Link to the Past, it's like, the songs in Link to the Past are great. They're better than Final Fantasy IV, but there's like 5 of them. In Final Fantasy IV, there's like 100. Maybe not 100, but there's like a lot. Street Fighter 2, again, I love how all the music is like every stage is not just the stage, it's like the character's theme for each level. I mean, I guess that's not like a new thing, right? But it's pretty neat, and all the music is good. Toe Jam and Earl, this game has like 2 songs. Did you know that the guy who composed this song, this was his first ever game composition or something? I saw it in a YouTube thumbnail, it's probably true. Might need to fact check me on that. But yeah, there's only like 3 songs in this game, but I mean, they are good. But anyway, I am going to give it to Super Castlevania 4. Again, you might not maybe want to like just sit down and listen to this music. I mean, I do anyway. But like the atmospheric tracks in this game go insane. The Dracula theme in this game and the Dracula battle theme in this game are like crazy. They go so hard. It's insane. It's just like unnerving. And again, I don't know how they made the Super Famicom make those noises. Like, it just goes to show how much better the Super Famicom sound chip is compared to the Mega Drive. I mean, I do like the Mega Drive music, kind of like how it does kind of sound like very video gamey and kind of shit, like in the instrumentation department, but the Super Famicom basically just sounds like real instruments a lot of the time. Maybe not real instruments, but you get my point. The best multiplayer. There's a lot of multiplayer games. There's a lot of good games this year. This is a good year. I nominated way more stuff for each category. We got Fatal Fury. I'm gonna tell you right now, Fatal Fury is not better than Street Fighter 2. It's just very unlikely Fatal Fury is gonna win. But the fact that you can do the single player in 2-player in Fatal Fury is actually kind of cool. Because then even if someone sucks, you can still play with them because you can just get through the campaign, and you can still do the story, which is like meant to be the best part about Fatal Fury. I guess I should have nominated Fatal Fury for best writing because it does have an interesting story. I kind of didn't even think about that. That's supposed to be like the main appeal of that game over Street Fighter 2, the fact that it has an actual story. But honestly, I feel like the characters in Street Fighter 2 make a better story than the dialogue in Fatal Fury anyway. So yeah, Neverwinter Nights, I mean, I guess could have been nominated. I suppose. Put that on there. I'm not paying $1 million an hour for it though. But yeah, I guess honorable mention to Neverwinter Nights. Toe Jam and All, this game is fun, although I feel like this game is better in the single player. The multiplayer didn't really add much. Maybe that's just because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. But it didn't really add much. In fact, if anything, you're kind of at a disadvantage because you get less points. And points actually matter in that game because it's how you level up or whatever. This game is good, but again, if you played it in real life, you'd probably, like, especially in 2-player, you'd probably end up spending a fortune because you just die. Although we did do that run-through where I tried really hard not to die. And I made quite a bit of progress, right? But yeah, Sunset Riders is goated. I'm gonna stream this game with Gami at some point, but we haven't got around to it yet. The recording in the intro was fake. I made that yesterday. But this game is super good. This game is really fun. This game is like a better Contra, I think. I think I like this game more than Contra. It's like a run and gun game. Because Contra's too hard. My brain's too small for that. Whereas this game is very fun. Bare Knuckle, I don't know why it's like to the side. This is a game where you can kind of like I feel like in most other beat 'em ups, if you play in 2-player, your friend's just gonna die and just be dead. Whereas in Bare Knuckle, you can kind of carry them through like the whole game. I guess it's because the enemies like freeze in place more and react to when you hit them more, so it's easier to just carry them if your friend like kind of sucks. But obviously this game rocks, we all know that. Street Fighter 2, again, I feel like this game kind of struggles from the fact of, like, if you're better than your friend, you're just gonna, like, absolutely obliterate them, and you're not gonna be able to do anything. Unlike in Fatal Fury, where you can, you know, do the single player in 2-player, even if your little buddy is, like, garbage at the game, right? Turn this down a bit. Turn it off, please. Puyo, I mean, it's fine. It's another puzzle game. I didn't even play the 2-player. Couldn't tell you. This game is pretty cool. I really want to play through this game in 2-player and see what it's like. Because it's like a platformer slash boss rush game, but with 2 dudes. I'm assuming you can have 2 dudes. If I'm wrong, and it's just like Mario World 2-player where you just take turns, that'd be very funny, but I'm pretty sure the whole point is that there's 2 of them, right? But maybe not. I mean, it is called Super Mario Brothers, yet you only play as 1 at a time, so... Unless I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure there's 2 guys in this, but again, I didn't even play it, so... But I want to, I'm going to. All the multiplayer stuff I want to do has been put on hold because Gami's away, it's not fair. But yeah, Golden Axe 2, it's kind of just like Streets of Rage. I feel like Golden Axe doesn't get glazed enough. I mean, Golden Axe is not as good as Streets of Rage, but it's still really good. I feel like the Golden Axe beat-em-ups are like way better gameplay-wise than like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. In my opinion, even though those games get loads of praise. I guess it's because the dash in this game is just kind of broken. You just kind of charge into the enemy over and over and over again, although you can't really do that in this one. As much, anyway. Battletoads, I imagine this game would be super awesome if you were both, like, know what you're doing. Right? But it is literally unplayable if the other person sucks. Not to mention that when the second player game overs, you're both game over for some reason. Who thought that was a good idea? Who greenlit that? So it's like literally impossible to carry your friend. Like if they suck in the game over, you gotta start again. Too bad. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but there you go. So, the best multiplayer game of the year... It's gotta be Street Fighter 2, right? It's gotta be Street Fighter 2. Sorry. Like, even though the, like, difference of, like, skill is gonna be a factor, just get good, bro. And even then, if you both suck, then you'll both be even, right? Which is probably likely. Especially for when this came out. Like, were people really that cracked? I don't know. I've been watching a VHS tape from 1991 to try and improve. I'm not making that up. But yeah. Next. What is the most soulful game of the year? We got Popful Mail. Although you have to remember that when we cheated and played the Sega CD version, there's no voice acting or, like, stuff like that. You know in the original, it has bump combat? You don't even have a sword? I did not know that until recently when I checked it out. So I would know what I'm talking about for this. But the graphics in this game are crazy for a PC-88 game. You remember these are basically 8-bit games, right? Not exactly right, but pretty much. The Simpsons. I feel like this game is like carried by soul. If this game wasn't a Simpsons game, I probably wouldn't care as much, right? Like, I mean, I don't care about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game as much. I guess that's why people like that game so much. If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles more than The Simpsons, you probably like that game more. But I don't. So, Castlevania 4. Again, the ambiance in this game is insane, and the music and all that crap. Even though it's super hard. I don't really know how to feel about the later half about how hard that game is. Maybe if I play it more and get over it, I won't care as much. But I don't know. The reviews gaslit me, because the reviews all complained that the game is too hard. So, I thought it was just me. I guess the game gaslit me and the reviews have affirmed me. But, yeah. East 3, I love all the voice actings. Unlike Popful Mail, this game actually does have voice acting 991 because it's a PC Engine game. Again, the opening cutscene in this game is peak. I watched the opening cutscene of this game like 100 times. And there's an error in the opening cutscene. They literally call the guy by the wrong name in the English version because they're dumb. They're like talking about a legend, about this like guy, and they call the guy in the legend the name of the actual main character, so it's like super confusing, but he's not actually supposed to be called that. Good job. Toe Jam and Earl. It looks very purdy. Maybe purdy's the wrong word. It looks very funny. The music is cool. The music is jamming. It's a good job the music is, like, super funky and cool. Otherwise, it'd be very annoying, considering there's only 4 tracks in the whole game, and there's, like, 30 levels. Right? Like, that would really get on your nerves if the music in this game was bad, but luckily, it doesn't. It's brimming with soul. I feel like, again, this is one of those games where if this game had, like, bad graphics, like, no one would give a fuck, right? Like, literally no one would play this. Not that the game's terrible or anything, but like no one cares about Fatal Labyrinth, do they? Even though that game is like decent. Euphoria or Hebrew, I don't know how to say the word. They're very cute. I don't know why in the American version they changed this dude to be this like grotesque, bug-eyed creature. I don't know what they were thinking there. But who am I gonna give it to? It's close between The Simpsons or Popful Mail. But I think I'm gonna give it to Popful Mail. I'm gonna hand it to them, especially for the platform it's on. I'm giving it to Popful Mail. Did you know in Japanese she's just called Popple Mail, which is not even called Popple Mail. She never says her name is Popple or Popful in the original. She's just called Mail. But anyway, the best shitty game of the year. Why is Maggie green? Why did they make her green in the intro? It makes no sense. The blue palette is literally loaded, and she's the only thing that's green on the whole screen. So why? Why is she green? There must be a reason. But like, why? She's supposed to be blue. Why'd they do that? How hard would it have been to just set this palette to render as blue? It's bizarre. Also, look at that sofa. It's got the like chainmail. I wonder what this looks like if you actually blur the thing. Looks terrible. That game's fucking ass. However, this game has a shocking amount of, like, detail to it, because, like, in the levels, the idea is to, like, go through the level and, like, change everything from purple Homer. That game predicted purple Homer. You have to change everything from purple. There's actually a lot of interesting interactions you have with, like, items you can buy and, like, puzzles you have to solve. However, you, like, get hit, and then you just, like, instantly die, and the jumping controls are, like, completely asinine. I beat the first level, then I died to the boss off stream, because I wanted to give it another try. So there is some appeal to this game. Also, it's a Simpsons game, which makes it cool. It's not completely worthless, even though the gameplay is, like, really bad, I think. There was some effort put into this game. They could have just literally made it, like, dog shit, like, Bart just walk to the end of the level, right? But they clearly cared enough to give you objectives to do. It just so happens that all the objectives are normally really annoying. Action 52. It's 52 games. And some of them were fun. I think they just go downhill from the ones... I think the only one that was fun was probably that light game. The rest of them are just like terrible space shooters, but... I kind of want to go back and play more of these. They revised the set recently to make it possible. Apparently there was some achievement that was like borderline impossible, but they removed it. Sonic Eraser. This game is dog shit, but... it is funny when Sonic punches you in the gut for, like, no reason. He just... when you get a combo, the Sonic on the left will, like, run up to the Sonic on the right and he punches him in the face. And then Sonic, like, goes, ugh! Which is quite amusing. Bible Adventures. This game is actually not that bad. It was, like, surprisingly playable. I thought it would be, like, total dogshit, like, bootleg crap. It's just, like, a really, really bad version of Mario 2, basically. You've never heard of Bible Adventure? Well, you're missing out. Go play it. It's a hidden gem. But, I feel like it's gotta go to Action 52, right? There's no way it's not gonna be Action 52. Even though there's, like... I think the fact that there's, like, nothing of value to be found in this game at all, and it's 52 games, and it costs, like, $1 bajillion. And also it came out now. You would think it would have came out, like, earlier on the Famicom, but no, it came out in 1991. Like, maybe if this came out in, like, 1985 or 86, it would be kind of... okay, you have 52 games, they're all kind of shit, but I mean, most games on the Famicom are shit at this point. But no, this came out to compete with A Link to the Past, and it cost more. Like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that. So it's gonna go to Action 52. I feel like this game's legacy is also way bigger than the others, right? Like, there's a reason why people remember and care about this game. Next, we got the best box art. Not too many this year. I had more last year, but... I love all the like, A Link to the Past stuff. There's, like, a few of these. Unlike the terrible American box arts we get for Zelda games, where it's just, like, orange and then text. Why do they do that? Literally, whose idea was that, and why did they do that for, like, every Zelda game until, like, what? What's the one on the GameCube? I don't remember. But yeah, the original Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, just, like, orange text. It's like, wow. Whereas most of the Japanese box arts have, like, these really pretty, anime sort of art things. I don't know how to describe it. Drawings. Paintings, actually, if anything. But yeah, they're very pretty. Same with the Sonic 1 Japanese box art. I love the way they look. They're much better than the American ones. But I do like the European Sonic box arts. They're also pretty good, in fairness. And although the European one is just like this Sonic on like a white background, which is kind of lame. The Japanese ones are way better. The Japanese Sonic Spinball box art goes crazy hard, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The Streets of Rage box art, I feel like this is the one time where, like, this happens all the time. I mean, this is actually the Japanese version, so what I'm about to say isn't even really true. But you see a lot of the time where, like, there'll be, like, kind of like the Mega Man box arts, where there'll be, like, a cute anime character, and then they take it and turn it into this, like, super realistic, like, buff dude who's gonna, like, kill people. I feel like this is one of the few instances where it actually worked out. Like, they look roided up, but it looks badass, right? Like, it fits. Like, I feel like if this was any other, like, Japanese game, this would look bonkers, but kind of the whole point of Streets of Rage and Sonic, I don't know what's going on there, is, to be American, right? So the fact that it has some sort of, like, bootleg, or not bootleg, but, like, Americanized-looking, hyper-realistic box art, it actually kind of works. And funnily enough, it doesn't even look like this in America. They made it look less roided up in America, for once. I mean, the American box art does also look cool, but the American box art is more iconic as well, but I like this one. It looks funny. Look at his fucking muscles, bro. He's about to burst. Monkey Island 2. Again, another beautiful, cover. Again, it's not really, I mean, I was gonna say it's not fair, I mean, it is fair, but, like, PC games always have, like, amazing boxes. I guess it's not fair because the box is, like, bigger, right? It's, like, I don't know how to give you a perspective on it, but they're pretty big, right? Although I guess Super Famicom boxes are also huge for some reason. Why are they so big in America? Well, not Super Famicom, why are Super Nintendo boxes so ginormous? I guess because they're meant to be, like, big toys. I guess the size is meant to make parents think that it's more valuable when you're spending like $50 on this huge box rather than a tiny little case. Anyway, the Bible Adventures box art. This box goes hard, right? Look at that. That guy's fucking dead. He's got the whip out. That looks badass, right? I would buy that for play on Nintendo. I would buy that if I saw that on the shelf. The Popful Mail art looks amazing. The only problem I had... Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, box art did not win for one reason. Why did they... my mouse is frozen for some reason. Why did they just mirror it? There's way more characters in this game other than just male, yet they spent the whole box art with just male flipped. Like, it would have been way better if they had, like, Gar and Tato on the bottom, or, like, on the top, or anything, right? Wasted. But it does look very pretty. So that gets second place. Super Castlevania looks badass. This is another rare thing where the American version looks way better than the Japanese version. The Japanese version looks fucking terrible. It looks so ugly. It kind of reminds me of when, like, America takes, like, beautiful, like, cel-drawn works of art and then turns it into something like this. This is, like, the opposite situation where the American version has the, like, painting as its box art. And then the Japanese version has this weird, like, oiled up, more realistic cover, which just looks like shit. But this one looks great. And I like how I guess because it fits better on the Super Nintendo box art, because it's, like, up, like, I don't want to say widescreen, but a landscape image, I should say. Metroid 2 Return of Samus. This looks epic. If they ever make a Metroid movie, they have to make this the cover, right? I know this was like a cover for Nintendo Power at one point as well. It kind of looks badass. This looks better than anything in the actual game, right? I would buy this. Well, I do like Metroid 2. I did like that game, but... cool cover. Anyway, The winner for the best box art for 2 years in a row is going to be Monkey Island 2 again. It just looks so good, right? Again, I gave it to Monkey Island last year as well, but they just look so beautiful. It literally just looks like a painting. I mean, it is just a painting, right? It looks great. I don't know why it's so high res compared to the others either. You can tell which one's gonna win because it like looks so clear compared to all the other ones. Alright, next up. Now we're getting to the actual awards that people probably give a shit about, maybe. If you give a shit about any of them, it'll probably be these ones. The best of the best. What was the best arcade machine of 1991? Well, I'll tell you right now, it was not Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. I don't know why I even put that there. It's funny. I forgot to play Avenging Spirit and Spider-Man. I've played these two games before. I've played these games before. But I forgot, so I just added them on here, just to mention them. They're not very good, to be honest with you. I know Sherman really likes this game, but it's okay. Did you know that there is bootlegs of this game with the Lonely Goomba's face on it? Because he put it in his thumbnail or something. The Lonely Goomba did a video on the Game Boy port of Avenging Spirit, where he turns the ghost into like a Goomba in the thumbnail, and then a bunch of bootleg copies of the game copied his thumbnail and put it on the cartridge and sold it or whatever. There's a video about it. It's very funny. But this game is pretty neat, but it's not that great. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus The Simpsons. Again, I prefer The Simpsons one, probably only because I like The Simpsons more. I think maybe the aesthetics and sound are probably like on par with each other. In fact, I might say the graphics in The Simpsons may be a little bit better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't think the sort of block color aesthetic really works as well in this game, unlike where it does in The Simpsons, in my opinion. But the gameplay is probably better in this game. But I kind of suck at the gameplay in both of them, so... I guess also the level theming is kind of more interesting in this game. You, like, travel through time, pretty cool. I would argue Sunset Riders gameplay is better than both of them. And the aesthetics and stuff are about the same. These three are kind of the same, because they're all just, like... I don't want to say... I guess they're all Konami arcade games, so they're quite similar in the way they look and play. But I would say out of these three, Sunset Riders is probably the best. And then Radmobile... I clowned on this game when I played it, and I was like, ugh, when you drive up the wall, it just, like, tilts the screen. You don't actually do anything. It's because... in real life, when you go, like, up a wall, the whole machine would move. So that's actually kind of sick. I didn't know that when I was playing it. I was like, the screen just moves, doesn't actually do anything. It's because when you're sitting in this machine, and you, like, go up a ramp, like, you, like, drive on the wall, the machine would, like, tilt and stuff, apparently. So that's pretty sick. Also, Sonic is in this game. This is the first game with Sonic in it, so that's something, right? I don't know what this game is. I've never heard of this game before. Yeah, it's gonna be Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 is the best arcade game this year. Sorry. I didn't even put Fatal Fury. I should have probably put Fatal Fury as well. I always think of the Mega Drive version of Fatal Fury, which is why I didn't even think to put Fatal Fury. I put Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car before Fatal Fury. That's brutal. Do an ad break. I was gonna play trailers throughout this, but I didn't know which ones to play, so I didn't. But yeah, I forgot to put Fatal Fury. Honorable mention to Fatal Fury right now. I don't know why I didn't include that, but Street Fighter 2 is better. So Street Fighter 2 wins, easy peasy. Good year for arcade games, though, low-key. You would think by now the arcade would not be as prevalent, but it definitely is. I mean, like, you would have thought that Street Fighter 2 would have made the arcade have somewhat of, like, a kickback, like, comeback era, but it never really went away. There's been a lot of good arcade games coming out, mainly by Konami, I guess. It's kind of just Konami, but still. The best Game Boy game? There was a lot of shitty Game Boy games this year, and a lot of good ones, too. But we got Metroid 2, which I did enjoy. Apparently people hate this game. Again, I feel like the types of people that hate this game are probably just Metroid fans that don't play old games. Although the Metroid fans... Well, actually, no, I was about to say they have to play Metroid 1, but Metroid fans also don't like Metroid 1 either, do they? So, yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. Especially as a handheld game where it's, like, super easy. We just go in a straight line, basically. Sneaky Snakes is cool. I never knew that what is the original called? The game this is a sequel to? I didn't even know it had a sequel. But it was fun. I should probably play this game again. I really didn't play it for that long, right? I have not played it since I streamed it. But yeah. Most Metroid fans think that Super Metroid is when the series got good. Metroid 1 is when the series got good. I like that game. But I like Metroid 2 as well. Kid Icarus, this game is not so good. I don't really give it much of a chance. I just got bored and turned it off. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a platformer on the Game Boy. It's kind of like... It is a bad Famicom platformer, which I guess is kind of impressive for the Game Boy. It's kind of the same with Mega Man. Like, this is definitely the worst Mega Man game, apart from maybe the DOS one. Like, if you compare this game to the NES games, it doesn't compare, like, at all. But, you know, for the Game Boy, it's okay. It's fine. Final Fantasy Adventure. This game is really cool. This game is kind of... I don't want to say it's better than Zelda 1. I don't know if... I probably wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely comparable to Zelda 1. Unlike where, like, Mega Man on Game Boy or Rockman World, which is a better title, by the way, it does not really compare to Mega Man at all. I think Final Fantasy Adventure does compare to Zelda 1. I don't think it's as good as Zelda 1. I think it's better than Golden Axe Warrior, which came out the same year, spoiler alert, which is another Zelda clone. Whereas Golden Axe Warrior is just Zelda 1, but worse. Whereas this game is Zelda 1, but sort of in a different direction. There's like different weapon types and stuff that interact with the environment, which is pretty cool. Cave Noir, this game is goated. Again, it's like, if you haven't heard me talk about it about 100 times, it's a roguelike, but you run away, and you do different tasks. And instead of it being a roguelike that takes 100 years, like Fatal Labyrinth, because it's a handheld game, you have short little objectives that you just hop in and do for like 20 minutes, and then you win, and then you're done, and then you can either do another one, or you can turn it off. So I'm gonna give it to Cave Noir. I think Cave Noir is the best Game Boy game of the year. Maybe the best Game Boy game ever so far? Maybe? That might be true. I mean, I might personally like the gameplay of Mario Land a bit more, but I think for a handheld, like if we're talking about imagining that you actually had a Game Boy, right? Like, the thing is with Mario Land is it's just kind of Mario, but, like, worse. And it's like, I understand that it's Mario, but worse because it's on the Game Boy. Whereas Cave Noir is, like, a great experience on a handheld device. It, like, actually works for the medium it's supposed to be on. I wouldn't really change anything about it if I could, right? I guess the graphics could be better, but, like, Mario Land could be better in many ways if it was on the Famicom. But Cave Noir, it's kind of awesome. The best Game Gear game? Unless I suck at shooting games, so I don't really have much of an opinion, but this game was pretty good. It's just like a shmup. Pac-Man. The Pac-Man on Game Gear is way better than the Pac-Man on Game Boy, which I said was the best Game Boy game last year. So there you go. Sonic 1. Do I need to say anything about Sonic 1? I like this game. Shinobi. Something interesting about this game is, unlike all the other Shinobi games, where they're, you know, Shinobi kind of invented its own genre, right? This game is a Mega Man ripoff. In this game, you pick from 4 levels, and then you beat the, like, ninja master, and then you gain his, like, magic ability, and then when you beat the 4 ninjas, you go to a final level. Which is kind of bizarre. I guess Sega wanted their own Mega Man. But it's actually pretty good. It's very tough, though. It's probably better than... I'm just going to call it Mega Man World, because it's better than the title. It's probably better than Mega Man World. I mean, if we're going to compare the 8-bit stuff from Nintendo right now, I feel like Final Fantasy Adventure is better than Golden Axe Warrior. I think Dragon Crystal and Cave Noir are about the same. I think Wonder Boy 3 is better than Metroid 2. And I think Sonic 1 is better than Mario Land. And I think Pac-Man on Game Gear is better than Pac-Man on Game Boy. So I think overall, I'd probably rather have a Game Gear right now. But yeah. So, oh yeah, spoiler alert. The best Game Gear game is Sonic 1. So what was better, Sonic 1 or Final Fantasy Adventure? What was the best handheld game of the year? Although, I said Cave Noir was better, so pretend it says Cave Noir. I guess I changed my mind. I must have originally thought Final Fantasy Adventure was better. What was better, Sonic 1 or Cave Noir? I think it's going to be Sonic 1, either way. But yeah, I must have chosen Final Fantasy Adventure before. I made this yesterday, by the way. I already changed my mind. But yeah, I think Cave Noir is probably better than Final Fantasy Adventure. I mean, again, it's kind of like where, like, I probably like, if Cave Noir was a Famicom game, and Final Fantasy Adventure was a Famicom game, I probably like Final Fantasy Adventure more. Final Fantasy Adventure more, but yeah. But Sonic 1's better than both of them, so, you know, same conclusion anyway. So what was better for this year? The Game Gear or the Game Boy? I don't know. It's kind of close. I mean, the Game Boy definitely had more games, but Kid Icarus was kind of bad. Mega Man was bad. Although Shinobi is, like, mediocre, but Shinobi's better than Mega Man World. Golden Axe Warrior was not on the Game Gear for some reason. That was a Master System exclusive. I don't know why. I feel like Sonic was better than Metroid 2 and Sneaky Snakes and Cave Noir. And the Pac-Man port is really good as well. So, I mean, if you want to compare, like, a game design for being played in quick, short bursts, Cave Noir versus Pac-Man. I mean, Cave Noir is definitely more original, but, I mean, it is Pac-Man. So I would say it's very close, but I would maybe edge out the Game Boy for just this year. I feel like in totality, you'd probably still be better off with a Game Boy. But for this year, I think I'm going to give it to the Game Gear, low-key. But it's close. The best Famicom game? There's a surprising amount of Famicom games this year. This is not even all of them, but this is just the good ones. We got Yoshi, which is basically just a better version of Hatris. Isn't it crazy that Yoshi got their own spin-off a year after Mario World came out? Maybe they just repurposed it, I have no idea. But yeah. You got High Speed, which is a pinball game. Bomberman 2. That game definitely grew on me when I went and played it again. The way the upgrade system's working. Like, when I streamed it, I didn't play it for that long and I just got bored. Euphoria. Mega Man 4. That game is Shatterhand. It's the Japanese version of Shatterhand. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. And Battletoads. Battletoads would easily be number 1 if it didn't get so ludicrously hard at the end. Like, it's just too difficult, I think. It gets too difficult to the point of tedium. Although, I guess something to consider is that I never use the warps. Maybe if I played that game again and practiced using the warps, I would appreciate it more. I mean, the warps are part of the game, right? But I didn't find any on my own, so I didn't use them, but maybe one day if I go back and try and beat it, I would change my mind. Same with Shatterhand. Shatterhand is an amazing looking game, but the fact that you have to punch stuff is so lame. The punching just kind of sucks. And the robots don't really help much either. They're just kind of pointless and annoying. Well, pointless, but the whole system of, like, picking what robot you make is just kind of annoying. Snatcher, that game already came out many years ago on the MSX. I think the PC Engine version comes out next year, though. And the Sega CD version comes out in, like, 94, I think. Yeah, I already played Snatcher. I'll probably talk about it again in the 94 one, because I'll talk about the Sega CD version. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to, I think I'm just gonna give it to Mega Man 4. That game was surprisingly fun, and everyone seems to want that game to win, spoiler alert, so I'm gonna give it to Mega Man 4, although Euphoria was fun, and Battletoads is also fun. Battletoads is very close, I did like Battletoads a lot, but it's just too difficult. In my opinion. Maybe I'm just a baby. The Super Famicom. We got Hyperzone, which was okay. It was fine. It was surprisingly fun, actually. When I turned it on, I was like, this is going to be dog shit. But it actually, you know, wasn't too bad. Same with Joe and Mac. I thought that game wouldn't be that great, but then it got better. I definitely feel like I'll appreciate Joe and Mac more if I play it again. Maybe in 2-player. Lemmings, also a great Super Famicom. This is an amazing port for the same year, right? Like, I don't know when the PC version of Lemmings came out versus the Super Famicom version, but they came out the same year. Too bad it didn't come out next year, so they could have used the mouse, but realistically, what fucking difference does it make? A Link to the Past, obviously, goated. SimCity, another good port. We actually played that version No, I played it this year, but I played the original before. I feel like this SimCity port is actually an improvement over the original SimCity. That added some cool stuff, right? Although I suck at that game, so my opinion on it's probably not that strong. There's the terrible Super Castlevania 4 box art, by the way. What the hell am I looking at right now? Why is he blue, for a start? Why is he blue? He's not blue in that game. But, yeah. Final Fantasy 4 as well. I did not stream it, but I played that game before. It's very, very good. I would say Final Fantasy 4, if you're someone who, like, wants to get into JRPGs, but you hate, like, truly old-head JRPGs, you could probably start with 4, maybe 5. I felt like that's where JRPGs kind of became somewhat more modernized. Like, there's more of a focus on the story in this game. And there's way less grinding than in, like, Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, 4, Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3. But yeah, it's pretty good. So what's it going to be? I mean, it's going to be close between Link to the Past, Castlevania 4, and Final Fantasy 4. But, it's going to be Link to the Past. Although, I do like Castlevania 4 a lot. I also like Final Fantasy 4 a lot, but not really as much. But yeah, it's going to be Link to the Past. The best Mega Drive game. This is a good year for Mega Drive games. Also, doesn't it look so pretty on all the PAL box arts, how they all have this uniformity to them? Sega have been trying to get, like, uniform style boxes for, like, so long, and I feel like the Mega Drive was the only console where they finally got it to work. They actually stopped doing it on the Game Gear this year, if you noticed. They changed the... Well, they didn't stop making it uniform, I guess, but they have this new thing at the bottom, more similar to the Mega Drive, where they used to just have white with lines or whatever. Funnily enough, on the Master System, they still do that, but on the Game Gear, they changed it this year to just say this at the bottom for some reason. I mean, it looks better. But yeah, I love the uniformity to them. I don't know what... I think they're similar in America, but not quite the same. And then in Japan, they just have whatever they want, as you can see. They normally have this at the top, and then this at the bottom, and that's kind of it. This game is an honorable mention because I really wanted to play this game, and I've been waiting for this game for ages. It got a Retro Achievement set yesterday, so I'm probably going to stream this game at some point. But I haven't actually played it yet. This is just an honorable mention. But yeah, the Retro Achievement set for this game came out yesterday, so... Or maybe the day before. So, yeah, that's something. It's kind of funny timing. Battlemania 1. Apparently this game didn't come out. I couldn't find the Mega Drive box art for this, which is weird, because Battlemania 2 came out in PAL regions, but... This game was fun. When I streamed it, I didn't realize you can turn around, so I kept dying. But then I played it again off stream and I beat the whole thing. This game definitely gets a lot better from where I streamed it. This game is funny. This game breaks the fourth wall. Well, I mean, I guess it's not surprising for a video game in the 90s, right? They all do it, but it was funny. Golden Axe 2 I already spoke about, very good. Bonanza Bros, this came out on the Mega Drive this year. The arcade version came out last year, but the Mega Drive version came out this year. And I actually think the Mega Drive version is a little bit better than the arcade version. Outrun, not so much. This is obviously an older game as well, but the Mega Drive version came out this year. But Outrun is a great game. I feel like having Outrun at home is a huge deal for the Mega Drive, considering Outrun was like one of the best arcade games for a long time. In my opinion, anyway. Sonic 1. I've played that game a few times. It's pretty good. Streets of Rage, similarly, I've played that game a few times. It's pretty good. Wonder Boy Monster World, this game is surprisingly good too. This game is great. I mean, I feel like this game is definitely, like, comparable to Metroid 1, right, or Zelda 2. I feel like it's definitely comparable to Zelda 2. I feel like I like this game more than Zelda 2. Probably just because it's easier. Well, they did ruin the game at the end by making the boss way too hard. But just played the Japanese version, I suppose. Although I did it, so it can't be that hard. Toe Jam and All again. This game is surprisingly fun, honestly, when I went back and played it to completion. Maybe I will bother mastering the set at some point, because it seems pretty easy. I don't know. Decap Attack, again, this game is surprisingly fun, it's surprisingly easy. I thought this game was going to be super hard when we played it on stream, but it wasn't, and I just finished the whole thing. It's just kind of good, right? It's not really amazing. Like, I feel like if someone who doesn't care about retro games played this, they wouldn't care for it at all. It's just kind of a good platformer. But, Yeah, I mean, I like the aesthetics, I like the music. The level design is fine. The getting the key item is nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. I do not like the RNG gambling, though. That is dumb. Fatal Labyrinth. This game actually did come out this year, guys. The Sega Net version came out last year, but the cartridge version, which is a different game, they like improved it slightly, came out this year. It's fine. Again, I got to level 29 in one sitting. It took me like 5 hours, and then I died. And then I turned the game off. We actually get infinite continues in this game, which is interesting. It's not a true roguelike, guys. You can infinitely continue. There's checkpoints, and you can just try as much as you like. So yeah, you can go forever. Yeah, level 29. It's annoying too, because apparently level 30 is like free. You just like freeze the enemies, get a billion XP, and then kamikaze the boss, which I had the cane for. But I fucked up and I died, so there you go. But it was good. It was honestly pretty fun. I mean, this is definitely a better true roguelike experience than ToeJam and Earl. However, it's a lot longer, I feel, and a lot more tedious, a lot more grindy. It feels like you're, like, grinding in this game by, like, killing enemies all the time, and, like, managing your food, and, like, trying to actually stay alive. Whereas in ToeJam and Earl, you kind of just, like, if you get hit, you're probably just gonna die. You kind of just want to avoid being in danger at all costs in this game. Whereas in this game, it's more about, like, managing your inventory and, like, what you're gonna do and stuff. So I feel like Fatal Labyrinth is probably better than ToeJam and Earl, in my opinion. Although they're kind of apples and oranges. They're kind of different, even though they're in the same genre. You've done a no-death playthrough? Damn, you should have done a retro achievement. This is an achievement for doing that. I was going for that achievement, and then I died on level 29. And I was right, by the way. When I streamed that game and I died, I was like, oh, the grave is going to be different depending on how much money you have. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, it isn't. That is exactly what happens. I was right. I, like, somehow knew that. I got the best grave, I think, because I died at the end. Yeah, it's going to be Sonic 1. Let's just be real, it's going to be Sonic 1. But, great game for the Mega Drive, though, right? A lot of amazing Mega Drive games. This is definitely the first year where the Mega Drive is great, I think. It's been kind of lacking up until now. I mean, Sonic 1 is a great game. Streets of Rage is a great game. Wonder Boy is a great game. ToeJam and Earl arguably is a great game. Decap Attack is a pretty good game. Fatal Labyrinth is a pretty good game. Outrun is a great game. Bonanza Bros is a good game. Golden Axe 2 is also a pretty great game. This Troubleshooter game is also pretty good as well. So they're kind of on a winning streak this year. I would argue maybe even more so than Nintendo. I mean, Hyperzone doesn't compare to anything on Mega Drive. Neither did Joe and Mac is like, what, comparable to like Decap Attack, I guess. Kind of okay. Lemmings is pretty amazing, I guess. SimCity is also pretty amazing. Link to the Past, obviously, you know, really good. And Final Fantasy IV. I would say they're about the same. I would say maybe the actual, like, the highs of the Super Famicom are maybe better. But all these games are really great. I was honestly quite surprised when I sort of tallied it all up. But we'll get to that in a minute. The best PC game. There's also a lot of great PC games coming out right now. I'm kind of cheating including DOS and PC-88 as, like, the same thing, even though PC-88 is more like its own separate console, but... I'm just including the PC-88, the MSX, and DOS as just computer for the ease. I guess also I could include, like, Amiga and ZX Spectrum if I wanted to, but none of that shit's getting nominated because they all suck. But yeah, we got Neverwinter Nights. This game is pretty sick. This game is kind of more of a curiosity. I don't know how you would play this in 1991 if you only had an hour. Because when I was playing it, I was like, oh, you're going to have to sit here and just grind for ages. But that can't be true. That can't be true, because you'd only play for like 2 hours at a time. So maybe in multiplayer, doing the quests is just way easier if you're in like a party of 4. We'll have to try it at some point. We'll have to get a group of 4 and just play this game again. Pop for Mail, obviously, great game. Monkey Island 2, again, great game. We spoke about it. Lemmings. Duke Nukem was surprisingly good. This game kind of looks terrible when you just see gameplay of it, but it was actually pretty fun. It's like carried by... I don't even want to say carried by the level design, because sometimes the level design is like really boring. It's not like an amazing game, but I thought this game would be like worthless, but it was actually pretty fun. Civilization, also pretty good. It's definitely comparable to like how great SimCity is. But I think the best PC game is going to have to be Monkey Island 2, let's just be real. That game is pretty goated. Although Popful Mail, also pretty amazing, right? They're close. But I do like Monkey Island 2 more. Monkey. So, what was the best home console? Was it the Famicom, the Super Famicom, the Mega Drive, the PC, or the Master System and the PC Engine? The poor PC Engine and the Master System. I only played like 1 or 2 games each. As I kind of spoke about earlier, I kind of already gave it away, so we'll just skip to it. I think it's got to be the Mega Drive. I think the Mega Drive was the best this year. You could easily make a case for the Super Famicom, but I mean, I guess if you were actually someone alive in 1991 and you would only get like 2 games, I guess I'd rather get A Link to the Past and Castlevania 4 and Final Fantasy. I guess if you could get like 3, I'd rather have Link to the Past, Castlevania 4, Final Fantasy 4 than like Sonic 1, Wonder Boy 3, Bonanza Bros. But like, in totality, I mean, I guess you have to think about it less that like, it's not that you would just choose the best one. It's like, if you had to like roll a dice and get a game at random, I'd probably maybe go with the Mega Drive. Because you have to remember there's also a lot of just shitty Super Famicom games that I didn't even play. They were just not worth even looking at. But there could also be games that were worth looking at that I didn't look at. Which is kind of huge because this would be the first year, probably since 1984, where the Famicom wouldn't be my best console. Because the Famicom was my favorite console last year, I think, right? And it's the original Famicom has pretty much been the best console for the last, like, 6 years. Maybe 7. About 6, 7. Lol. So to see the Mega Drive have this huge leap, it's kind of a big deal. It's because it has Sonic. Sonic's better. Unlike the poor old Master System, which is not doing so great right now. Or the PC Engine. There is a lot of PC Engine games that I don't play, so maybe the PC Engine is doing stronger than I thought, but I only played East 3, and East 3 is a port. But East 3 is good. But, you know. So what is it, guys? What is the game of the year? Is it going to be A Link to the Past? Street Fighter 2? Streets of Rage 1? Sonic 1? Castlevania 4? I mean, I think the real question is, am I going to pick Sonic 1, Street Fighter 2, or Link to the Past? And it's tough, right? Like, my bias would make me pick Sonic 1, but we already went over that when I played Sonic 1, so it's not Sonic 1. I also love Streets of Rage. I kind of maybe enjoy playing Streets of Rage 1 more than Street Fighter 2, but I think Street Fighter 2 is the better game. Castlevania 4 has, like, amazing aesthetics and, like, sound design. Probably, better than A Link to the Past, even. But, you know, as a total package, I think A Link to the Past is better than Castlevania 4. So now you got Street Fighter 2 and A Link to the Past, which are kind of like apples to oranges. I feel like the one thing that really lets Street Fighter 2 down, which is something I'm not really aware of, so it doesn't really affect my judgment of it right now. But you could easily argue that Street Fighter 2 1, I don't know what to call it, has, like, aged poorly, right? Because there's so many, quote-unquote, better, I don't know because I haven't played them, versions of this game. And also the barrier to entry is redonkulously high as someone who can't play it. But, it's gonna be Link to the Past. Link to the Past is one of the best games of all time, so it's kind of no contest, really. But it was a stacked year, let's be real. I mean, most years, it would not even be a question, right? It'd just be Link to the Past. But, you know, there's a lot of good games this year. But we're not done. Because I had a poll put out. We actually got a lot of votes. It was like, what, like 15 people who voted, maybe? I don't know. Maybe more than that. I don't remember. But in 9th place, with 1 vote, was SimCity, Civilization, Sunset Riders, Metroid 2, ToeJam and Earl, Bomberman 2, Hyperzone. Who voted for Hyperzone? Someone out there really loves Hyperzone, I guess. I mean, fair enough. In 8th place, with 2 votes, was Popful Mail and Monkey Island 2. In 7th place, with 3 votes, was Turtles in Time. Again, I guess if you really love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It makes sense. That game is decent, but I wasn't crazy about it myself. In 6th place with 4 votes was Final Fantasy IV and Lemmings. People be loving Lemmings. I was actually quite surprised they got that many votes. In 5th place, with 5 votes, was Mega Man 4, which made me play the game, because I felt bad, because so many people voted for it as their number 1. If anyone didn't do the poll, I let people pick 3 games, by the way, not just 1. Because otherwise I thought it would be boring. It would just be like 1st place, 2nd place, and that'd probably be it. It'd probably be like 1st place, 2nd place, and then 3rd place, all with 1 vote. So, in 4th place, we got Street Fighter 2. Only in 4th, guys. Only in 4th. In 3rd place, with 7 votes, we got Super Castlevania 4. And in 2nd place, with 8, it was close. It was like really close. You got 6, 7, 8. This is why, if next time I put out a poll, you have to vote, because you could have been the deciding factor if you're watching this and you didn't vote. But, in 2nd place, it was A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past did not win. I think you can figure out what won. It was Streets of Rage, obviously, because that one hasn't come up yet. Streets of Rage got, like, no votes, which is kind of crazy. I originally voted for Streets of Rage, but then I played Street Fighter 2 more, so I swapped it to Street Fighter 2. I did vote in my own poll. But, you didn't vote? Well, you should join the Discord then, shouldn't you? In 1st place, with 12 votes, it was Sonic 1. Sonic 1 actually got a lot more than even A Link to the Past. It got 12 over 8. I vote Pop for Mail. I like Pop for Mail as well. That's a valid choice, to be honest with you. And the PC-88 version is surprisingly good. It's not that much of a downgrade. You would think it'd be a huge downgrade. Do you want to know something that's true soul on these old PC-88 Falcon games? I don't know if it's true of Pop for Mail, but definitely in East 3. The manual for that game is a hard book with, like, full illustration, like, paintings in it. And, like, at the back, it has, like, music sheets for all the music. How crazy is that? I thought that was so sick. Sonic 1 Game Gear? Yes, the Game Gear version. It was the Mega Drive. The Game Gear version was on the poll as well. That got no votes. I put all of the games that I had played in the poll. It wasn't, like, submit your own. But no one complained, so... I mean, it was like 53 games. Actually, I guess Kaiser complained because I forgot to put Monkey Island 2 in because I hadn't played it yet. I forgot to put in all the games I haven't played. Oh yeah, I guess I'll mention now, the only game that I didn't play, that I set out to play, that could potentially have made any of these nominations is Brandish. I did not get around to playing that yet. I'll probably just play the 94 version for the Super Famicom, maybe. So, these are my best games of all time lists so far. And I would say these are the console rankings, like, at the moment, right? Including backlog, but not forever. Look at the Master System covers. They have this thing where, depending on the genre of the game, it has, like, a thing in the corner. Which is kind of cool. And look, you can see the uniformity I was talking about, where they all kind of just white. With a thing in the corner. My best live stream? All of them, obviously. How could you pick? But yeah, I forgot to put the Master System on this list last year. I didn't even think about it. But there you go. I would say these are the best games of all time so far. And we've got... Ooh, they're on the wrong layer. That's embarrassing. I put a star so you could tell which ones were new. But I obviously put the stars on the wrong layer so you can't see them. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that's what went down, went up, all that shenanigans. And these were the games that are no longer in this list. These were here last year. They've been demoted. They are no longer in the top, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Demoted. They've been kicked out. They're not there anymore. And this is what I had. I actually, since I'd already done it, I was like, why don't I put it? These are the winners of Best Arcade Game, Best Handheld, Best Console Game, Best PC Game, and Game of the Year. And these are the winners from every year so far, in comparison. So there you go, if you ever wondered for the ones that I didn't stream. And I'll probably just keep updating this, like, every year. But yeah, those are all my Game of the Years so far. Because I was doing this before I streamed it, right? I just have a spreadsheet. Because I'm lame like that. But, yeah, there you go. So there's the 5 added games to the compendium. I'm consistent with what I said today, right? Yeah. I didn't change my mind on the fly. But yeah. And that's it for 991. Next, we'll be moving on to 1992 with Gimmick, Mario Kart, Streets of Rage 2, Sonic 2, Gekisha Boy, the GOAT! That's why he's the GOAT! That game came out next year. I'll probably play that game again. I already mastered the set. Kirby, Wolfenstein 3D, Shin Megami Tensei 1. I never knew Shin Megami Tensei and Digital Devil Story were like different things. But they are. They're like different franchises. Well, not franchises, but they're like separate. Indiana Jones, looking forward to that. Dragon Quest V, I will probably play off stream. I might just stop playing that like now, because I'm not going to stream it. Same with Final Fantasy V, I'm not going to stream that. But I've played Final Fantasy V before. Mortal Kombat, Echo, Mario Land 2. I'm also probably going to keep playing Street Fighter 2. And before I stream anything, I'm going to finish Mario World. I need to get all the achievements in Mario World. I didn't forget about that. I'm going to do that. But, yeah. That's it. That's 1991 done, dusted. I guess I'll leave you with this. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Because I work tomorrow. Maybe with some Mario World. Something. But yeah, it was a pretty good year. Maybe next time we do it, I should add a ranking of every year. Because this might be one of the best so far. 85 was also pretty good. But yeah, maybe next year we'll have a slide for the best years. But yeah, that'll be it. Shout out to everyone who stopped by. Join the Discord. And, yeah.